Hello and welcome back to the Fracking Farmhouse, where this week we will be reviewing the press release from CUADRILLA. CUADRILLA, the shale gas company that has so far fracked 2 wells in the country and has failed at both. Yet they have released this press release on the 11th of March 2019 saying how well they've been doing. Do you know what? They have upgraded original well productivity forecast by 72% from 2013. Right? In 2013, I think they'd fracked 1 well that had set off earthquakes and ruptured and they got nothing out. They have now fracked 5% of 1 horizontal well. They've got 2 horizontal wells in Lancashire. They fracked 5% of it. It kept tripping the seismic meter, the level that's traffic light that's set at 0.5, and they had to pack up. They didn't get enough gas out to light a flare. They had to put propane in there to get the flare to light. When they cold vented methane, they shut their monitors down. And they're saying their well productivity forecasts have increased by 72%. What on what? It's like me going out the road, going out the front door, running 100 yards down the road, coming back, sitting down and go, well, I've done a run and I can run a triathlon in under 3 hours. You know, it's like they haven't done anything, right? And so they've brought out these figures because what they're doing, they're in trouble now, CUADRILLA, because they can't frack without breaking the seismic levels. So they've got to do a big play. In addition, research from the Committee on Climate Change has shown that shale gas extraction can be compatible with carbon targets. Right, we dealt with that before. They said it can only be compatible with carbon targets if the carbon footprint of the infrastructure they build is offset by carbon savings elsewhere in the economy, and there has been none of that, and if there are close to 0 methane emissions, and they've demonstrated that there are fugitive methane emissions, and they've also demonstrated that they are not fit to monitor them because they switched off the monitor. The monitor broke when they were cold venting the methane. So, but they've put another. There's some other stuff in here that you've got to have a laugh at. What is it? Just last week, latest figure from government revealed our reliance on LNG imported from Russia had risen dramatically in 2018 and now makes up about 20% of all imported LNG into this country. Oh, that sounds a lot, you know. 1 boat came from Russia full of LNG, liquefied natural gas, last year. Ironically, it came from a port that used to be cut off by ice in the summer, but because of global warming, the Arctic ice has melted and they managed to get a boat round. Now makes up about 20% because it's 1 boat out of about 6. LNG is not massive, and it's not a massive thing, and it's not reliant on Russia. We chose to buy from them because it was the cheapest. You know, we didn't have to buy from them. We could have bought from Qatar, couldn't we, Oscar? We could have bought from Australia, we could have bought from America or their shale gas. There's no reliance on one country for LNG. The Gas Security of Supply report has said there is a huge market. Places are generating LNG, right? And we can use the LNG as a bridging fuel while we phase out gas, right? Because we need to if we're not going to fry the planet. And it goes on about 64,000 jobs again. You know, like this is a figure that it's a really fantastical number. So far, they've created about 23 jobs with a few million quid spent. They've produced no usable gas. It's an absolute dead duck. And it's based on this report from UKOOG, updated shale gas production scenarios. They're talking about well pads with 40 laterals on, right, which has been done nowhere in the world. You know, they do about 16 in America. You know, it's their pad production profiles. They're talking about building big well pads, and this is worrying because at Marsh Lane they're doing a well pad. Oh, just it's temporary for 5 years. Now they're talking about 1 well pad drilling 40 wells. They do show that each lateral, once you've drilled it, the gas coming off declines really sharply. And this is the whole thing about fracking, is you drill a well, you frack it, you get a lot of gas, and then you get nothing. So you have to drill again and again and again and again. They're talking about, oh yes. Here we go, year 1 site construction, year 2 4 laterals drilled and completed, year 3 6 laterals drilled and completed, year 4 6 laterals, year 5 6 laterals, year 6 6 laterals, year 7 6 laterals, year 8 6 laterals. How many thousand trucks per lateral? How much steel and concrete have they got to put in the ground? Each one with a chance of leaking and poisoning the water, setting off earthquakes, poisoning the air. It's a nightmare scenario, just for a few jobs and money, and their jobs and money are made up numbers. They haven't realised any of it. Look, if you want jobs and money, I just saw this report. I mean, we could pick on a million of them, but US clean energy jobs grew 3.6% in 2018, outnumber fossil fuel jobs 3 to 1. That's where they're fracking their heads off. That's where they're running around like headless chickens, burning anything they can get out the ground. And still, clean energy jobs are growing quicker than fossil fuel jobs. And most of these jobs are in insulation and imposing and putting in solar panel, things that are so easy to do, things that we know work, things that we know will not harm the environment, things that we know are not getting any more fossil fuels out the ground, things that we know will not exacerbate greenhouse gases. UKOOG and CUADRILLA, you are disgusting. Your press releases are disingenuous, to say the least. We do not need this future, we need this future. So I didn't mean to get, but these guys really make me angry, because they're prepared to destroy our planet for their own profit, and we don't need to do it. We don't need to go down this route at all. We need the governments to act now to move to reduce consumption of fossil fuels and to move to renewable energy generation. Okay, it's as simple as that. Thanks for being in the Fracking Farmhouse. Don't know where the cats have gone. They've gone outside. Spring's coming round the corner. Equinox is coming up. Don't get down, people. Fracking is a dead duck. It's not going to happen in this country. We're winning. So thanks for watching the Fracking Farmhouse.